We talked, well, you did, girl mom to four. I don't even know. Boy mom to one, and that about broke me on certain days. So I'm not going to use the word balance because I don't know that we ever actually balance all of it, but we certainly do juggle it. How did you do that? Because, by the way, support, you're never really off. How did you do that? And especially friends, family, four daughters, a very demanding job being a executive and support. What would you say? How did you do all that?
Yeah, I think one of the things that was like somewhat unique about me, I guess when I would compare myself to other people who have shared their backstory, is I didn't have this like really elaborately thought out career ambitions. Like I was not like, oh, I'm going to be this or whatever. Like I just, again, I loved computers. I loved math and science. I like people. I thought like I was good at computers. I should do that. And I always wanted to have kids, but I didn't have these grand. I never even thought of like management, not management. I didn't even get that far. So when I said I fell into the startup, what I loved about the startup was you just go in. I mean, we were physically going in, but like, and you just do work. And there was no like at my 10-person startup, there was no. We didn't email each other. Like we just did stuff and
Right.
talked. And then at the end of the day, if it didn't work, like, I don't know, you come back the next day and you do it again. And so for me, like, as I like continued up in management at Zuora and like the work got more work and there was more things and more stuff like that too, I'm always trying to make the best decision out of what I can do with the time that I have. And so, like you said, I don't think it's a balance either, but whatever choice it has. And so I haven't, and I know some people have a different opinion about like boxing and boundaries and all that stuff. And I also appreciate that management is a different type of privilege role than like an individual that is on more of a shift schedule for support. But I choose to do what I need to do. And there's the 24 hours a day. And like the older I've gotten, the more I actually like sleep. Like I used to be the 5-hour person. Now I'm not. Now I'm like, I could sleep more, I would. But like I used to not be a nap person. Now I could totally nap 45 minutes if I get it. So I think you
Right.
have to adapt with the time. But I don't have a problem like staying up to like midnight, which I do a lot of times to do presentations or things that require deeper work or strategic work or thought, because that's the only time that I'm going to get. And I'm going to spend my daytimes talking to a lot of people in a lot of meetings. But then again, like I have the ability to go to like a soccer game at 3 o'clock. And now with technology and stuff, like you can be on, I've been on a call on a soccer game. And no, that's not the most present way to be, but when it's support and it's emergency thing and you want to be able to like participate and be a part of that, you can do those things. So I think technology has actually given all people more ability to be flexible and integrate, which is also why, again, I don't believe in the box. Like if I want to be in the box, then that's fine. But then the box is why people want you to sit in front of a desk and not move. So I
That's
like
right.
the flexibility and, trusting people and trusting teams and get their stuff done and be available whenever possible, if that makes sense. And then when they need to do something else, do those other things and be happy at the end of the day. And if you made choices you don't like, there's the next day, make a different choice and see how that one
Yeah.
goes.
Yeah. That's awesome. I would love, 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 love to meet your daughters one day because I bet they're just rolling out of that house being just empowered young females, aren't they?
Yes, so they're all quite opinionated and also very, very different. So
Yeah.
that's a really important thing too. I actually learned from my work coach years ago, because when they were really young, and two of them were twins, they're now 11. But when people see like a bunch of children with like one mother, it's kind of strange. Like you get these like, whoa, like, I mean, you must have your hands full is like,
Yeah.
right thing. It's like, it's not like it's a mean spirited thing that people are saying. They're actually like, wow, that's amazing. Right.
Yeah.
But she had taught me, she's like, like your kids will kind of hear that. So it's like
Yeah.
how you react to that can frame how they think of themselves or each other in relation to you. So she had actually taught me a principle which you can use for any type of way that you address comments that people give you at work, that you're kind of like, okay, is that a compliment or is that a backhanded compliment? But it's like, just come from a place of intention with yourself that like, yes, I love all my children. They're each unique individuals. And I always wanted to have a big family. And so
Yeah.
again, someone could be like, whoa, I never wanted that, or that's way too much. And that's fine. That's their thing. But like, my opinion on how I choose to live my life is mine. And no
Yeah.
one can invalidate that for me. And they can't say like, oh my gosh, that's like whatever. So just kind of like
Yeah.
put that back out in the universe. And so they know that. Although none of them say they're signing up for having 4 kids. And when I
Yeah.
complain about having to drive them around, or like mob Ubering, they're like, well, you wanted to have us. So
Yeah.
great.
Well, if they each went for 4, that would be 16 grandkids. Boy,
Right.
yeah. Do that math. Keep doing it. Right?
Exactly. I'm totally gonna be that grandparent. I'm gonna come in. Here's some
Yeah.
toys. Here's some sugar. Peace out.
Yeah.
See you
Here's a
later.
puppy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have time for a couple more questions for you. What do you do to take care of yourself? And
Oh,
I really want you to know that I asked that from a place of sincerity, because I think that, we do so much, right? And it's easy to get right off of work, and you're working from your home, open that door, go in the kitchen and start, making dinner and homework and stuff. Tell me one thing that you're just absolutely, I have to do this to take care of me. What is it?
I've always been really into exercise, but like everything, it's changed a lot over the years, mostly
Yeah.
due to like injury and age. But years ago, when I started working, I was very into like group fitness, and actually got into teaching. So I was teaching aerobics classes and kickboxing. And so I would go straight from work to actually my side work teaching. And I actually learned a lot of things about, like, I used to say this too, because before I ever led a meeting, I like led a class of people like doing stuff. And it's really actually impactful that when you are yelling at people to do stuff with their body, that actually has inherent risk, and they have to like follow you and believe in you in that way. So I actually learned a lot from that experience early on teaching people. And then when my now 16-year-old was born, I got into triathlons. That was super fun, especially in the Bay Area. There's a big triathlon community, and it's very like supportive. And triathlon is all about doing your best in 3 events. Yes, there's a competition with other people, but it's really like what you can produce out based on like how you train and stuff. But like 2 knee surgeries later, I'm not doing that anymore. So it's more, and there's less time, so it's more like little, like, I actually love like the home-based stuff now that you can get on videos. I do love gyms and being places, but sometimes that's just not possible. So I've learned to like just even 10 minutes of something video is really fun, and like walking around like my new neighborhood is fun because you get to see and meet new neighbors out here and stuff like that too. So I like to try to do something. I wouldn't say every day, but 5 days a week, even if it's 10 minutes, just some kind of activity. I think it's really important.
That's awesome. Cool. So you have to remind me when we're done with this, our new head of data science, she's been with our company for quite a while, Alex. She's our new director. She lives in Austin, and she's training right now for a triathlon. So that would be I don't know if you know Alex, but
no, that'd be great. Yeah.
That'd be a great connection. I love making those connections too.
Yeah, it's a great sport. It's a great community. It's very addicting, but it really actually works well for people in our industry because it's goal setting and like scheduling and stuff. And and then you do the event and it's like the achievement and you get this really big high. And you also there's a thing on one of the apps that you can use for tracking where they came up. I don't know if they still call it this but it's called the Suffer Score. But it's basically looking at all your like the heart rate and all the stuff that went on in the workout and like valuing it to like how much you suffered. But I do think there's an analogy there with sometimes with work, because like in order to have the best accomplishments and achievements, I don't know if it's like, and suffer might be a harsh word, but you do have to go through things and you do have to put a lot into stuff, and it's not easy and it's not like a breeze, and there's going to be conflicts and like trade-offs and stuff. But once you accomplish it, like the high you get, the only way you can get it again is to do it again. So it keeps you like motivated to like want to go back and do it again and like adjust for this or that. So it's super fun.
Yeah. Okay. I think I can work the suffer score into a few areas of my life. So thank
Yeah,
you. Yeah, I've learned something here today. I'm going to ask people from now on what the
yeah.
suffer score. Yeah. So two and a half last questions. Ready? You used to work with Joe Andrews. You got any tea on him? I'm just doing this, and I'm going to see if he listens to these because he'll.
Yeah.
You don't have to answer. You can just give me a yes or no. You have any tea that you could share about Joe?
Only good memories of
Okay.
Joe, but
Okay.
like I was saying too, with my mini Zuora reunion, like not that again, we didn't go through stuff, but like I like the people like that came out of that company and the stuff that they've gone on to do is just like Joe and like so impressive and just like really good quality people. So
Yeah.
I love
He's
that.
He's absolutely amazing. I love, love, love working with him. And his claim to fame is he can break me at this company like no other. He can force me into laughter at the worst times, and it's amazing. So, okay, last question, I promise. It has been, by the way, thank you so much. This has been so good to spend this time with you. But tell me, who inspires you?
Oh my gosh. So many people. I think, really of late, I'm super inspired by some of the words of my pastor at the church here. He's actually some of his sermons, although it's talking about religion and Christian faith, there's actually a lot of really good work principles in there on how to live a good life and how to show up for people at work and from all the things of like how not to like hate people that do things wrong to you, how to like think about your life, from the decades perspective. Like when I was saying to like I think a lot about people in their 20s now because it's a lot of our workforce and support people in their 30s, people in their 40s. And he said something recently where in your 20s, you're basically making decisions for that are going to affect 80% of your life. And you spend the rest of the decades kind of living out those decisions.
Yeah.
And I think about that, I'm like, wow, like nobody ever explained that in my 20s to me. And it's true, whether it's like the education you get, the jobs, the people that you choose to be with, whether you get married or not, or have a partner or have children, a lot of that can happen for people in their 20s. And so I think for me, learning that kind of stuff from his perspective, which was religious, but it actually has a lot of applications that are totally secular. And I think I really appreciate that. And that kind of has helped me grow and think about like now also going into a new role, how I can support the new organization, the team, and give them perspectives and not try to scare the 20-year-olds saying that, oh my gosh, everything you decide now is going to predict your life. But I think there is lessons that we can always learn and we want to give down to the younger generations. And even if people don't necessarily make different choices, I think about what a lot of leaders told me in my 20s, and I didn't really get it then. Like I remember being at a women's event probably in 2001, and one of the women executives at IBM said, "Working makes me a better mom." And I thought that was the weirdest comment. Like it didn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
But I wasn't saying she was wrong. I didn't ever hear that like growing up. That didn't make any sense to me. And so just having those seeds implanted in people, even if they don't understand at the time, can really help them as they in their future to make decisions that are going to be best for them and their family.
That's awesome. So the half question, because I said two and a half, have you told that person that they inspire you?
I haven't. That's a great idea.
Here's your
I'll have to like wait in line after because he always has a long line
That's
after the sermon. That is a really good idea. I love
yeah,
that.
that's awesome. Hey, Marlene, I have loved our time together. I love every time we get together and have a chat, and whether it's, professionally or socially, personally, you're just an inspiration. You yourself are. I'm sure I could come up with a lot of people who would say that about you. Thank you for spending the time with me today.
Thank you so much, Judy. And thank
All
you,
right.
Support Logic team, for having me.
All right. Take care.
Bye.